Alright, so why should you start a YouTube channel, even here in 2021 and beyond? Now, I truly think everyone should start a YouTube channel, but I don't mean literally everyone. I mean people who are actually interested or think there's something there on YouTube for them, whether it be just sharing their hobby with the world, sharing their interest, having an outlet, a creative outlet of some sort, or even just making money or getting into a side gig, making some extra side income. So the demographic I'm not talking to here are people who absolutely do not need a YouTube channel. They may not find any sort of fulfillment with starting something like a YouTube channel. They don't want a side gig. They don't want extra income. They don't want to share anything with the world, or at least not on YouTube. Then starting a YouTube channel is definitely not worth their time, and I don't know why anyone would want to do that. That's like trying to force yourself to eat and enjoy black licorice, even though you don't like it. Now, having said that disclaimer though, this goes a step beyond that, and I am only focused on talking to the people who want to actually make some money with YouTube, starting a side gig, trying to get some side income here or there. Obviously, the goal is not just to make money from YouTube, it's also to actually enjoy the process and learn new things, and also know that it is a very long-term investment that you're getting into. But if you have been considering YouTube as a side gig, something new to take up your time with, that potentially might make some money in the long run, or even thinking about it as a sort of business, this is definitely the right video for you. This video is specifically addressing the people that think of YouTube in that way. Now, there's one sort of rule that I really like to follow when, judging whether something is a good advice versus not a good advice. And this actually happens quite rarely. This is when someone tells you something that does not benefit them at all, but instead actually it's playing the opposite effect, making it potentially worse for them. But they still tell you this advice regardless of that. For example, because my other YouTube channel is about fish, and fish are sold at local fish stores by people who are trying to make money from their customers. If the customers buy more fish, the store owners make more money. But if there are any good or humane owners of a local fish store, they will not only try to sell you more and more fish, they will actually instruct you to be careful with what you buy and not actually stock your fish tank or overstock it by buying too many fish. When a store owner is telling you to not buy something, that is a very, very important thing to take note of, and I would suggest you to listen to that. Their advice is going to make them less money, and they're still telling that to you. There's something very important here. Similarly, I am a YouTuber, but I am telling people, I'm going out of my way to set up the camera, set up these lights, set up this mic, rig everything up, and film and script this video just to tell you that you should start a YouTube channel. There is a lot of competition on YouTube. I'm sure you are aware, in basically every niche. What good does it help for me to welcome more of that competition? Not much. Perhaps by getting more people on board, YouTube can become bigger, but in my opinion, it's already very big. The number one reason why, never in the history of the world has there been such an opportunity to start something like a business so easily. You are putting down very little capital to start something that will give you, or might give you, a lot of return. The potential for a lot of profit for not really using too much of your money as capital to invest in this business that we call YouTube is astoundingly amazing and positive. Compared to the brick or mortar businesses that does not even see a profit or return until like 2 years to 5 years to maybe even 10 years later, and that's still not guaranteed. Brick and mortar businesses can put down easily 100K of capital just for rent, and that's maybe every 3 months depending on how or where you live and how expensive rent is. Not to mention inventory and probably a business degree to help you actually learn to do all that stuff, to manage all that stuff. And I also don't know of any other side gig that has such a big potential of return years down the line. So if you're thinking YouTube is just a side gig option, I can probably choose another side gig. Yes, there's a lot of other opportunities nowadays, but I think YouTube as a foundational sort of piece in your portfolio of, income streams is hugely it's invaluable. You have a phone, It has a microphone. That's how I started. That's how all the big YouTubers claim how they started. And it's true. I'm living proof. I'm not that big of a YouTuber, but I make a decent income and I'm living proof that it works. I'm by no means a genius, but I am also not a fluke because YouTube rewards consistency and YouTube rewards following through. Yes, there's an element of luck. There's always going to be an element of luck, but there's also working hard and working smart. Remember, luck is only there for the people who are prepared. Luck rewards preparedness. Now I'm getting a little off topic here, but let's go back to our main point. YouTube right now is an unprecedented chance to start a side gig that has an amazing potential to return on investment without the ridiculous amount of capital as compared to a traditional business startup. That alone should already help you make the final decision to start up your YouTube channel. You are watching this on a device that is probably capable of making a whole YouTube video in and by itself. From the filming to the editing to the upload, if you have a phone, you are capable of doing that. How amazing is that? In a way, you are wasting investments that could be used towards starting your business by not even using it for your business, such as your phone. A lot of people have DSLR cameras and those work perfectly. Right now I'm filming on a DSLR. You might have a mic that you practice singing on or whatever other hobby. You have lights around the house. You can use natural lighting. Works sometimes even better than artificial lighting. Now I'm not going to get into niches. This is a contested topic and it's very tricky and nuanced in a way. But in another way, it's just an excuse for you to not start. It's just another excuse. After, oh, I don't have the proper equipment. If you have an iPhone 11 or more recent, you have better gear than I do. So if I have a YouTube channel, there's no excuse for you. After that, we move on to the niche excuse. What am I going to talk about? I'm not an expert in anything. I don't really talk about anything. There are niches that you don't even have to show your face, just your voice. There are niches that you don't even have to talk. They are out there. So if you are anywhere serious about making this into a side gig for some side income, potentially in the future, or even looking at it from a business perspective, do your research. There is a lot of opportunity here and you do not want to miss it. That's basically the point of this video. Think of YouTube as a business that you can opt into for free. Unless you don't have a phone, then I'm sorry. I guess it's going to be a little more challenging for you to start a YouTube channel if you don't have a phone. Not everything is picture perfect though, don't get me wrong. I've touched upon the risk of having tried the YouTube thing and not getting any fruit, not bearing any fruit from it. This is a completely possible scenario. Just with any other business, things do have to align and they have to build on your hard work. And that leads us to the other point, is that this does take a lot of work. This takes a lot of work and dedication. Just to be consistently uploading, just to be consistently putting out quality videos. If you don't have any editing experience, you're probably gonna have to learn that. And that leads to the final point, or the final con, the final negative sort of possibility from this, is that this is a huge time sink. Not only do you have to put a lot of hard work and energy into this, it's gonna take up a lot of time. I remember going more serious with YouTube. I would come home from work at 5 and then continue working until I had to sleep and then go to work the next day in the morning. I basically had no more time of my own because I was grinding my butt off on YouTube. I put in all the time, resources, and energy I had left from my day job when I got back home and I sat my butt on the chair and just grinded it out. And this is a consistent grind. But to me, it was worth it because it was something I wanted to do for myself. It was all for myself. It was not for a boss. It was not for someone else. This was my own thing. And that alone kept me going. And I did enjoy that for the most part. I definitely would not recommend it to you if there was nothing, not an ounce of enjoyment for you if you're living that life. Because again, we only live one life, okay? I don't want anyone, including myself, to be wasting my days grinding over something I truly do not enjoy. Then it becomes not worth it at all. So anyway, that's basically the video, whatever I want to share off my chest about this topic for now. There's probably going to be a few other videos about why you should start a YouTube channel. There'll probably be a list of reasons later on and some some more pros and cons, and maybe some personal sharing experiences. So if you don't want to miss any of that, and if you enjoyed this video, perhaps if you learned something from it, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and smash that like button. I will see you guys in the next video.